Hey everybody, this is Susan, the Wandering Woodworker's wife. Today we're making a quick pizza-like casserole dish, and having to cook inside again today. Today we are in Creole, Louisiana, right on the ocean. But it's been very windy today. There's a peek out the door. It's been very windy today, so we're having to cook inside. So I've already got part of my prep work done. Right now, here I am. I'm sauteing and crisping up some pepperoni. It's about 5 ounces of pepperoni, and I have cut the pepperonis into 4 little pieces each so that they're smaller for easier bites. These are about ready. So I'm going to put those on a paper towel to drain. Hang on just a second and I'll be right back. Okay, let's go over the ingredients real quick. I've got my 5 ounces of sauteed up pepperoni. I have about 4 ounces of diced pepper jack cheese. I diced it because I want it to stay a little bit chunky. I have a small can of just tomato sauce. It is 8 ounces. I have half a loaf of sourdough bread that I also diced and cubed, and I just toasted up dry with some garlic salt in the frying pan, so it's kind of like a soft crouton. Here I have half of a large green bell pepper and a whole small onion, and I have sauteed those up with garlic salt, black pepper, red pepper flake, and some Italian seasoning. And I sauteed those in extra virgin olive oil. So there's my spices right there. And also, did I say I put some red pepper flake in it? So I did. So I'm going to start putting this together. So I'm going to lay you down. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. There's my ingredients. I have added my tomato sauce to my frying pan. And that right there is a half a teaspoon of dark brown sugar. And real quick, I'm going to add just a dash of garlic powder, a little bit more Italian seasoning, give that a little stir. And I'm trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time, so it's not real easy, especially in this tiny little space. And I'm just cooking on a little Coleman stove. And like I said before, we have our carbon monoxide detector there. It's at 0. I've got the windows open. Okay, that's pulling up pretty good. Turn it down just a smidge. Taste that. Let's see, something's missing. I think I need more Italian seasoning. Let's stir that. Taste. Not quite enough. I'm probably going to end up using this brand new bottle. It doesn't shake very well. I'm going to probably end up using about a half a tablespoon total. And like I said before, you just season to taste. Get it like you like it. You can add additional red pepper flake at this point if you want. It's getting there. Some more garlic powder. Probably about a small half teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm sorry, I'm having to look around the camera to stir and stuff and to find my ingredients, so I hope I'm not screwing the video up too bad. Okay, I'm going to even this out in the pan. There we go. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, all I've done now is I added in my pepperoni pieces. I didn't stir them in, I just spread them across the top. I'll be right back. Okay, I've done the same thing with my bell pepper and onions. And in this video, I'm hitting pause every time I add an ingredient when I lay the camera down. Instead of turning it completely off, I want to see how it goes. So we got that there, and I'm going to add my cheese, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my cheese on top here, and I'm going to sprinkle this with some Parmesan cheese as well. Let's see if I can get right and see what I'm doing. Okay, good sprinkling there, and I'm going to put my croutons. Look at that, and then I'm going to hit the floor. Okay, I put those on top there, and I'm going to put my lid on it. Okay. Now, I didn't put the bread on the bottom or put the bread on the middle because I didn't want a gooey, yucky mess. So hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, it's coming right along. I took the lid off because I didn't want my bread to get soggy. I wanted it to stay kind of crisp on the outside, but it's coming right along. The cheese is getting melted up good, but it's not quite where I want it. So let me see, I'm going to take my spatula, try to look around the camera, poke some of this down. Oops, I'm sorry guys, I was showing you the wall. I didn't realize. It's hard to look around the camera to see what I'm doing and keep the camera on what I'm doing. Okay. This kind of turns into like a upside down deep dish pizza, sort of. Not exactly like a pizza, but when you have limited facilities and you don't have an oven, and you're craving pizza, this kind of hits the spot. You don't want to try to rush it by turning the heat up because you'll scorch the bottom, and burnt tomato sauce is no good. Poking in the cheese just a little bit. Okay, well, it's getting close to ready. I'm going to do another sprinkling of Parmesan. I'm looking through the camera this time, so I'm probably getting as much on my feet and the floor as I am in the dish. Okay, and for the finishing touches, and this is optional, you don't have to do this, a light drizzle of extra virgin olive oil across the bread. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, I think that the health benefits of olive oil is if you put it on top of your dish, like your pasta dish. Lee just went outside and made a big bang with the door. If you put it on top of your pasta dish and it's not actually heated, when it's overheated or heat to a high temperature, I think it kills some of the health properties to it. And I would recommend only using extra virgin olive oil because you won't have the flavor with other presses of olive oil. So anyway, let me lay you guys down for just a second, and I'm going to try to plate this up, and I'll be right back. Well, there's the end result. They're on a plate. It's looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Get a fork. That. Look at that. That is going to be really good. Now guys, this is just something that I made up. I will type up the recipe below the video so that you can try to make it yourself. And you can kind of ad-lib it to add things that you like yourself, like if you like olives or different things like that. Salami would work. Mushrooms. Wow. Back to the plate. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this recipe, be sure to let me know in the comments. If you try the recipe, let me know how it turns out. Thanks for watching. Signing off from Creole, Louisiana, January 2020. Hope everybody is having a good week. Hey everybody. Well, we tried a brand new recipe, and we have divided it up between me and Lee, and we've just had lunch, and so I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the recipe and what might make it better. It was really good as a substitute for a deep dish pizza. The olive oil that I drizzled over the top at the end added a lot of flavor, a lot of pizzeria, a really good dough flavor to the recipe. One thing, I'm not a big pepperoni person, so I would have probably rather had Italian sausage instead of so much pepperoni. But of course, you know, we don't use refrigeration, so we didn't have Italian sausage on hand. The pepperoni can be stored at room temperature as long as it's unopened, and so I went in and used that. Now, it was 5 ounces, and Lee loves pepperoni, so I just went ahead and cut up all the whole 5 ounces and put it in the recipe. But it was really good halfway through, and then the pepperoni was kind of overwhelming the second half. So I think next time I'll only use like half of that amount of pepperoni. You could also substitute like canned chunked ham would be good if you had that on hand instead of pepperoni. But we couldn't be happier with the way that it turned out. And I'm just giving you a quick peek at the ocean here. This is Rutherford Beach in Creole, Louisiana. It's in Cameron Parish. It's one of our favorite places to stop in the spring. And right now it's January. I mean, it's in the 60s. The wind's real blowy. That's the only down point today, but there's a storm coming in tomorrow, a really bad one. And so that might be another reason why the winds are so bad today. It's always pretty windy though, that's true. But it keeps the bugs down. And so while I was talking to you about the recipe, I just wanted to give y'all a peek at the ocean here, since this is where I just filmed it. And so I am going to, again, put the recipe down below the video. And everybody, thanks for watching. I don't know if you can see right here. I don't know where the camera is. Where's the camera? Okay, there we go. There's cows right there. It's a farmhouse to the right. It's up on the stilts. But that's a cow pasture there. And it's fun to watch the cows do their little daily routine here. Zoom back out. And way back in the back where you can see the structures, that's the pavilion here at Rutherford Beach. And it has water and porta potties and a dumpster. And of course this here is the Gulf of Mexico. Windows dirty. It's always dirty. When you go down the road, it keeps your windows grimy. Okay, everybody, if you have any comments, let us know. Thanks for watching.